Hi, everybody. This is Kayla, Caroline, Kiana, and Skylar here, and we're going to discuss if it's better to rent or buy in Chapel Hill.
So the scenario we thought up was John and Wanda Smith made a combined income of $75,000 a year working in Chapel Hill. They have two children and want to move out of their parents' home. They have a 2-year verified job history with a 715 credit score. They also have been working very hard to set aside $10,000 of their own money, in addition to their parents giving them $5,000 to find a home for a down payment. This is a really unique situation to be able to put this much money down, and they're very fortunate to have the support of their parents in this move. After searching online, they found 3 homes, 1 condo, and 3 apartments that they really like, all with 3 bedrooms in Chapel Hill. So their question is, does it make more sense for them to rent the apartments or buy a home? These are the ABCs of mortgages that they would need in order to buy a home. They need a 2-year employment history with income, which they both have. Their credit score has to be checked by one of the 3 major credit bureaus, either TransUnion, Experian, or Equifax. They also need a down payment or an equity, which is basically how much money are you able to put down, or what is the value of your home versus the amount that you owe.
So the Smith family's consistent mortgage rates with a 3.5% down payment, we got them a 2.75 interest rate on a 30-year term. And the homeowner's insurance will be about $150 per month based on Chapel Hill. So after running the mortgage payments for each of these houses and condo, it came down to home number 1, down payment being $14,000 with a principal interest of $1,576. Property tax on this home is $110, and the mortgage insurance being $273, with a total monthly payment being $2,137. We did the same thing for home number 2, ran the payments. Down payment, $12,600 for this house. Principal interest around $1,400. Property tax is around $200. Mortgage insurance would be $246, with a total monthly payment being $2,043. Home number 3, the down payment for this home would be $7,641, with a principal interest of $875. Property tax being $158 and mortgage insurance being $150, with a total monthly payment for this home coming to $1,300. And for the condo, the down payment would be $11,375. The principal interest would be $1,303, property tax $150, mortgage insurance $222. And when you buy a condo, that comes with homeowners association fees, which for this complex is $350, which brings the total monthly payment for this condo to $2,075.
So the value of homes isn't going to stay the same over time. The average for monthly payments on homes in the United States, which is represented by the blue bar graph, it starts at $1,487. That's the amount that it's the average this year. The value of homes in the United States also increases by 3.5 to 3.8% each year. So this graph pretty much just shows how the monthly payment for each of the 4 homes will look like compared to the average value of all US homes over the next 30 years. And so we kind of did the same thing with this graph for the apartments. The average for monthly payments on homes for apartments in Chapel Hill at the end of 2021 was $1,984 per month. And although rent usually depends on location and the landlord and other factors, the average rent for an apartment in the United States increases by about 2% each year. So this graph shows the predicted monthly rent payments for apartments compared to the predicted average rent in Chapel Hill over the next 30 years. And then finally, this graph shows pretty much what value you're getting for the amount that you're paying each month. The blue bar graph represents the monthly payment for each house and each apartment. And then the red line represents the area in square feet of that home or apartment. So for example, house number 3, the amount that you're paying each month is very appropriate for that amount of space. Whereas in apartment number 2, you're paying way much more a month than you really need to for not as much space.
And then this slide, it shows the total invested after 30 years. The numbers for the homes represents the total predicted amount of money invested into completing a 30-year mortgage loan.
And we did the same thing for the apartments, given that on average in Chapel Hill, apartments price goes up about 2%. So as you can see here, those are the prices of the apartments after 30 years given that 2% increase. So based off of the square feet compared to the monthly payment and the total invested after 30 years, should the Smith family rent or buy? And based off of those, the Smith family should buy. Thank you very much for listening to our presentation, and we hope you have a great Christmas.